Hello, my name is Sarah Scherer, and I'm the Housing Operations Coordinator here at Southeastern. And tonight, I want to walk through some information with you about staying for Winter Intersession. So to access the StarRes portal, you're going to come to the Southeastern webpage, go to Current Students, scroll down to Campus Housing and Residence Life. Click on the Apply to Live on Campus. Okay, and then you're going to log in. Always make sure that you click on the blue Student SSO login button down here whenever you're going to log into the StarRes portal, where you can have access to all types of things housing here. Okay, so this is the home page for the StarRes portal. Here on the gold navigation bar, you're going to come over to Express Checkout. And this is, I realize that may not make sense since you are planning to stay during the Winter Intersession. This is the process that you are making application or requesting authorization to stay for the Winter Intersession. So you still want to click on the Express Checkout button, okay? Because you're going to stay, you're not going to leave for before Thanksgiving. So you will want to select the I am checking out after November 20th choice. And just to make sure that you are in the right place, yes, I am checking out after November 20th. In this case, we understand you're not checking out in the sense that you are going to pack up and leave, but you will actually check out of what we call the fall booking. Okay, so that is StarRes terminology for the booking, which was the room reservation that you had during the fall. Okay, if you plan to stay for the Winter Intersession, this is very, very important. You want to come to the StarRes portal and go through this process that I'm showing you right here before December 1st. Any requests that we receive after December 1st to stay for Winter Intersession will most likely not be approved. So first of all, do gain access to the StarRes portal before November 13th so that we can get an idea of who all is staying and who all is going before and after Thanksgiving break. And then make sure that you do not miss this December 1st deadline if you would like to request authorization to stay in your room for Winter Intersession. So I'm gonna go ahead and click Save and Continue. Okay, and then our last choice here, request authorization to stay for Winter Intersession. Save and continue. Make sure that this information here is correct for you. It should have your room and residence hall. If it is correct, then select the blue button. This is going to give you some really good information for those of you who plan to stay for the Winter Intersession. First of all, do not forget to request authorization before December 1st. And then other things that you're going to want to be aware of. Okay, this year we are going to charge a $300 flat fee. Okay, so that means that in the past, maybe you paid a per diem per day. That is not how it will work this year. This year, if you plan to stay one night or the entire intersession, it's going to be one fee, one price, which is $300. Also understand that there is no food service during the intersession, that there are no refunds for the $300 fee. There's a no visitor policy. Some of the policies are a little bit different, and it is your responsibility to be familiar with those policies and to comply with them as well. So once that you have read all of this information and you understand all of the modified housing policies outlined, you're going to check this button. And then we also want to gather some information, and we want to know what is your purpose for staying in the Winter Intersession. Maybe you are going to stay because you are an athlete and you have to practice, or maybe you're taking an in-person intercession course. And maybe it is that you have a job and you need to stay close by so that you can attend your work. Whatever that is, just fill that in and then come down here and
Sarah, may I interrupt for a second?
sure.
I don't see the buttons that you're selecting. Maybe you could screen share so we could see what you're referring to there.
Oh, you can't see any of this?
We have not been able to see it. So we wanted to kind of see if we can catch up to that and see what we're talking about. And I understand it's in the portal.
Go over that again because I didn't wasn't aware that we weren't sharing the screen. So this is the last screen for any student who is wanting to stay during the winter intercession. It has a lot of that information that I just went over. The $300 fee, no food service. This is where you would want to check once you have read and understand all of the modified housing policies. Right here is the box that I was talking about for making your selection on the reason why you would like to stay for the intercession. I have selected here that I have a job and I'm required to work and cannot commute for my permanent residence. And then this is the space where you will put in your student number as a form of signature, and then save and continue. And that is really all that is involved with requesting authorization to stay for winter intercession. The most important things that you need to consider are number one, even though you are technically not checking out, we understand that the terminology may not be technically appropriate for you. We still want you to come to the StarRes portal before November 13th and go through all of those prompts and answer those questions so that we can plan accordingly for how many people will be here and how many people will be leaving early. This is a request confirmation email that will be sent to you. You're going to want to request authorization to stay for the winter intercession, like I said, before December 1st. That's very important. Once you have gone through this process, you'll receive a confirmation email. I would expect that you will hear from us in about 1 week whether or not your request has been approved. I think that covers everything. I apologize that you were unable to see my screen. Is there anything else I could go over for you?
I do have a question.
Go ahead.
That's okay. Will we be having any RAs checking out our rooms with like health and safeties at all during the intercession or before?
That's a possibility. I'm not aware of any that are planned right now, but I would say that it's always good to be ready for that to happen. So I would make sure that your room is clean and sanitary because that is a good possibility that could happen.
Right. So
thank you.
So let me just kind of piggyback from that. So typically, yes, we will be entering the rooms, and typically we will be doing that pretty close to after December 11th. So generally during the intercession, you need to be prepared that that is a time when our maintenance staff and our Res Life staff tend to go into locations. So if one room in a suite is vacated, that's when it's going to get cleaned. So that is something that residents that are here during intercession do need to be prepared for. Anybody that is approved to be here during the intercession, we normally post a sign on your door, or we send one to you to post on your door that indicates you'll be there and what dates you'll be there, so that we make extra certain that we knock and that kind of thing. But yeah, you should be prepared for that. And the other thing is, I want to go back to something Sarah said as well. She said that you have to submit a request to stay for intercession by December 1, and that it would take about a week for us to approve those. So if you are eager to know whether we're going to be approving you, and we're not going to approve everybody this year, if you are eager to know that, then we encourage you to not wait till December 1 to put it in, but to put it in sooner so that you can find out whether your request has been approved sooner. So kind of, the acting sooner makes more sense, because then you'll find out an answer and you won't be disappointed at what you might think is the last minute. Other questions?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how much does it cost to stay for Winter Intercession?
That's a good question. It costs $300. It's a flat fee. So regardless if you stay one night or the entire intercession, it's going to be one price, and that's $300.
So if I don't have internet and I need to use that for remote work at home, can I stay over intercession, or do I need to go home and use other resources for that?
You can submit the request, but unless you are in a class, then not having internet is not necessarily going to be seen as a priority for us. The internet is here primarily for you to be academically successful. And so that is our goal for you to have for that reason. Now, you are certainly, there was that section that Sarah just talked about that said you can tell us anything else if you don't meet one of the preset requirements, which is I have this job and I have this other thing. You can explain that there are special circumstances, and that will be something that we would consider individually. So I don't want to, blanket say yes, blanket say no. That's why we put that in there. So there's an opportunity for you to give us additional information. And it's important for you to do that so that we know what you're asking.
Well, if nobody has any more questions, I am going to go ahead and share my screen and just very quickly go through what you didn't see before. So Southeastern website, current students, scroll down to campus housing and residence life, apply to live on campus. This is the home page that I was talking about, the express checkout button that you'll use even though we understand you're not technically checking out. You want to stay for intercession, so you would select the I am checking out after November 20th, even though you're not really checking out. Save and continue. Don't forget your December 1st deadline. And then request authorization to stay for Winter Intersession. Make sure that this information right here that contains your booking information, your room number and residence hall is correct. Click select. And then this takes us to the very last screen. I just wanted to make sure that you could see that. And if you want to go back and look at the recording, you will have that information there for you. Okay.
So does anybody have any additional questions? Okay, so just some things that I like to highlight when we talk about intercession. When Sarah talks about it doesn't feel like you're checking out, what you're really doing is you're checking out of your fall assignment. And you're going to be, if you're staying for an intercession, then we're going to be checking you in for the intercession. That's why it's important that we go through this process. And then at the end of intercession, we'll check you out of intercession and check you in to spring semester. So that's kind of just procedurally how it goes in the program. December 1, important date. I encourage you to submit it before December 1 if you know that this is your situation. Realize that not everybody's going to be approved. Realize that we have far more restrictive policies during intercession, including no visitation, including 24-hour quiet hours. several of those kind of things, and kind of zero tolerance for any policy violations during that time.